Gyokeres, we got to see, Jules. On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you that he can replicate his form that we've seen in Portugal at Arsenal?
It's hard to tell. I mean, the first thing is the excitement amongst Arsenal fans that they finally signed him and that he will be able to join up with the team. As we saw, he's already there on that pre-season tour in Southeast Asia, and then we will get to see him at some point very soon with that number 14. That's great. For the rest, there's obviously a lot of things here. The first thing is the Portuguese league is not as good as the Premier League, obviously. Sporting was playing in a different way, especially under Ruben Amorim than Mikel Arteta plays with Arsenal. But he knows English football. He speaks the language, which is very good. He's obviously been in the Premier League or around the Premier League and then in the Championship, obviously, where he made a real name for himself at Coventry before going to Portugal. He's that kind of striker that I think if you give him the right service, will score goals and goals and goals. So the adaptation is probably not as big as if he was a defensive midfielder like a Zubimendi, who will need to learn a lot of things in the Arteta style of football, maybe more than Gyokeres. It's a different profile to Kai Havertz. We said that too before on Friday night show. But yeah, it's impossible to say if he's going to score another 50 goals in a year or 40 or 30. I said 30 on Friday. Stevie was a little bit lower. It depends. But the one thing we know for sure is that he will have to hit the ground running straight away. Arsenal can't afford to have him needing 6 months to adapt. They need him to score now. He doesn't have to score 3 goals a game, but he will have to be good now, because otherwise, by the time he becomes good enough, they might be too far away from a Liverpool, a City, a Chelsea, or whoever are in front of them in the league. So they need him to perform as quickly as possible.
Just a logistic question here. For the record, was there a number there from Jules or not?
A scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah, a scale of 1 to 10. Was there an actual
Should we
number?
push him?
Well, I think so. I don't want to tell you how to do your job, Kay, but I think maybe we should.
Go on then, Jules. We're pushing you. 1 to 10.
I'm 7 out of 10 confident that he will be almost as good as in Sporting Portugal.
You know who's not going to be happy though, Ale?
Who's that?
We've done some digging. You know the set-piece coach.
Oh.
Arsenal.
Superstar.
Yep. Well, we decided to take a look at the last 2 seasons in League and UEFA competitions at Sporting.
Oh.
And there has only been 1 header.
Oh.
2 headers, sorry. In 2 seasons. 0 last season.
Oh.
Is this a cause for concern? This is a 6'2" striker.
Uh-huh. Well, let's not forget that we're talking about this on July 27th. So this is the July 27th special, and we're trying to figure out what Victor Gyokeres is going to be for Arsenal, and how do these goals from Sporting translate into goals at Arsenal. Part of doing that is seeing what his skill set is, and you cannot argue against the numbers. The numbers are what they are. That is obviously not good productivity, being a header of the ball. It doesn't show that he is dominant in the air. And if we talk about a team that has depended heavily on the set-piece coach and the delivery of such set pieces from guys like Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard, they will depend on Victor Gyokeres getting on the end of that service, which usually is with his head. If we follow this whole thought process, that number that you just shared with us, Kay, and thank you for doing the research, is damaging. It's damaging evidence. I don't think it says everything that we need to know about Victor Gyokeres, but it's certainly something that points to an area of concern.
There's no big issue.
All on my own, without Shaka's algorithm. There's no issue?
No, I'll tell you why. Because I think Arsenal set pieces, Gabriel is still the main actor. Everybody else is playing supporting roles in Arsenal's.
Oh, right, nice little analogy there.
So as a result, he's there again, not to lead in terms of Arsenal converting set pieces. He's there to pick up the pieces from the set pieces.
Oh, see, you started well with your analogies, and then
I thought I finished strong.
No.
I thought
you lost steam.
I wonder.
Is Jules staying at 7.5 after hearing the stats?
I got it sent today. But again, we talked about the way Sporting played, especially under Ruben Amorim. There was not too many crosses in the air. Set pieces was not their thing. So if you can look at it that way, I'm sure Nicolas Jover, who is the set piece coach, the magician, will improve Gyokeres. And I think Xhaka is right too. I think he might be there just to block people and to be a nuisance for goalkeepers and defenders and let others who are maybe better in the air than him score the goals like Gabriel Magalhaes. So we'll see, but I'm not too worried about that.
Let me just say, for the center forward union, which I don't talk about all that often, but if I'm a 6'2" center forward and there are services coming into the box, the last thing I'm thinking about is setting picks for somebody else. No. My job is to score goals. And I'm big enough, tall enough, and strong enough to win headers. So while that may be the role of others at Arsenal, my role, if I'm Victor Gyokeres, is to go and attack the ball. Never mind setting picks or getting on the way of goalkeepers and such.
He's setting picks.
What? You bought a guy this expensive to set picks?
He's setting picks. I guarantee it.
Can I just tell you? I used to set picks. That's why you use people like me. People like me that have no chance of scoring. You set picks, Alejandro. Victor Gyokeres was not, should not, and will not be setting picks.
Rodrigo could be Arsenal's 7th signing as Madrid softens stance. Real Madrid are reportedly willing to reduce their transfer demands for Rodrigo amid growing interest from Europe's top clubs. Arsenal have been heavily linked with the Brazilian forward since the window opened in June, and this latest development could reignite their pursuit. Rodrigo has long been admired by the Gunners' hierarchy, not only for his versatility and Champions League pedigree, but also for his creative flair and work rate. Despite Arsenal's £200 million summer outlay, bringing in Victor Gyokeres, Kepa Arrizabalaga, Martin Zubimendi, Christian Norgard, Christian Mosquera and Noni Madueke, they are still open to strengthening in the forward department. Madrid willing to lower demands. As reported by Diario AS via Transfer News Live, Real Madrid are now prepared to accept offers below €90 million for Rodrigo. This marks a significant drop from earlier speculation that the Spanish giants would demand close to €100 million. The decision comes amid strong interest from several clubs, including Arsenal, Liverpool, PSG and Bayern Munich. Manchester City are also believed to be long-term admirers. The lowered price tag could be a game-changer for Arsenal, who previously shifted their focus to Crystal Palace's Gyokeres due to Rodrigo's high valuation and uncertain status in Madrid. But with Real now reportedly more open to a sale, a move for the 24-year-old could be back on the table. Complicated situation in Madrid. While Madrid may be open to letting Rodrigo leave, the player himself is believed to be reluctant to give up on his future at the Bernabeu. Despite a reduced role at the Club World Cup, the Brazilian remains hopeful of proving his worth. Still, the landscape could change quickly. If Arsenal feel a deal is possible, they have shown this summer, particularly with Benjamin Sesko and Gyokeres, that they're capable of pivoting quickly and decisively. It's a transfer saga that could run until the final days of the window. The question is, will Arsenal make their move? Thoughts Gunners. Continue to pursue Gyokeres or pivot to Rodrigo? So much time and effort appear to have gone into getting Ease. If reports are to be believed, I'd be surprised if Arsenal now went for Rodrigo instead. Only Berta and a few others know though. Arsenal given Gyokeres transfer deadline as Man Utd battle looms amid Andrea Berta plan. Arsenal have a public deadline to complete the transfer of Gyokeres if Mikel Arteta wants to use the attacker against Manchester United. Arsenal have had a proactive summer window so far, with 6 signings made before their second preseason friendly even kicked off. 4 of the deals were done before the club flew to Asia for their tour, with Christian Mosquera and Victor Gyokeres joining the group later. That being said, Arsenal are still not believed to be quite finished with their investment and are targeting a third attacking signing of the window after Gyokeres and Noni Madueke. Let's see, the market is still going on, and we'll have to balance that out with the squad as well. I think we'll be open to see what happens, Arteta said when asked if Arsenal would do any more business after Gyokeres had been confirmed. Gyokeres is a potential addition to the club, Football London understands. The Crystal Palace talisman is believed to be keen on the move and has a £67.5 million release clause that the South London side are demanding be paid to allow the player's exit. Arsenal face Liverpool in transfer battle amid Gyokeres and Alexander Isak moves. Ibarreche's to Arsenal transfer in question is Mikel Arteta given a brand new problem. While Arsenal might have completed their first 6 signings quickly, the 7th could take some extra time. Despite all the incomings, Arsenal sold Nuno Tavares to Lazio after agreeing to a loan with an obligation to buy last summer, and Marquinhos joined Cruzeiro on a permanent deal for just over £2 million. Reece Nelson, who Football London understands is of interest to Fulham, Albert Sambi Lokonga, Fabio Vieira, Alexander Zinchenko, and Karl Hein could all yet leave, and the club are believed to be focusing on this at present after completing the deal for Gyokeres. However, there is a time pressure element to a move for ease. The longer the deal takes, the less likely it is he could make the squad for the opening match of the Premier League season against Manchester United. According to Premier League rules, new players must register by 12 p.m. on the last working day before the game for them to feature in the next match. With Arsenal travelling to Old Trafford for a 4:30 p.m. kickoff on Sunday, August 17, Ease would need to register by midday on Friday, August 15. Arsenal therefore have less than 18 days to complete the transfer and register Ease so that he can play against Ruben Amorim's side. Better than Trossard and Martinelli, Arsenal chasing £56 million Ease alternative with talents such as Max Dauman and Ethan Nwaneri breaking onto the scene. Arsenal are primed for many years of success and excitement at the forefront of domestic and European football. Arsenal have finished second across the past 3 Premier League terms, but there's no question that this team has made considerable gains since the Spaniard took to the dugout 5 years ago. Now, the likes of Bukayo Saka and Martin Odegaard need to spearhead this project towards silverware, crowning a golden era with something tangible. The £63 million acquisition of Sporting Lisbon's Victor Gyokeres, one of the most feared centre-forwards in Europe, has certainly inched the club that step closer, but a creative winger is sought after too. Arsenal lining up new winger. Arsenal are pushing to sign Crystal Palace's Ibarreche, who has a £68 million release clause. A principal agreement for the base layer of that clause has been agreed, but details remain before technical director Andrea Berta steers the deal across the finish line. Ease operates across multiple attacking berths. His high-speed, fleet-footed dribbling makes him apt to star out on the left, although he has typically been played as a central midfielder with a license to roam while with the Eagles. The 27-year-old might not be the out-and-out winger that Arsenal need, perhaps even bearing a skill set that could see such a player join the crew alongside him in the coming weeks. Well, The Athletic have reported that both Gabriel Martinelli and Leandro Trossard, who came under fire at times last term for their performances, may be sold before the summer is up. As such, it might be wise for Berta to consider signing another left-sided forward, who could sign in Ease's stead or indeed cohabit with the Three Lions star in the Arsenal squad. Arsenal lining up Ease alternative. According to transfer reporter Ben Jacobs, Arsenal are still monitoring the situation of Xavi Simons, with the RB Leipzig player expected to sign for a new club this summer. Simons, 22, is one of the best young playmakers in Europe, and he's versatile besides. Chelsea are engaged in talks with the Bundesliga side, but Arsenal and Bayern Munich remain interested. He is expected to cost around £56 million. It won't be an easy one to pull off. Chelsea are indeed the frontrunners to sign the Netherlands international, so the Gunners will need to get a move on if they hope to steal ahead. Why Arsenal should sign Xavi Simons? Formerly a prospect at Paris Saint-Germain, Simons arrived in Leipzig as a loanee at the start of the 2023-24 season before signing permanently in a €50 million (£42 million) deal. Across 76 appearances for the Germans, he has scored 21 goals and has supplied 23 assists, operating, like Ease, across central and wide attacking midfield roles. Last season, he was most often found out on the left flank, where he notched 9 goal involvements across only 17 outings. Hailed as a superstar by analyst Ben Mattinson, this diminutive Dutchman has the remarkable blend of balance, technical skill and confidence to hit the ground running in the Premier League, sure to thrive where Ease would have at the Emirates Stadium, and sure to impress ahead of the aforementioned strugglers on the left flank in North London. Ease is a little quicker, a tad more active in carrying the ball up and tracking back down. The Englishman likes to get shots off with greater consistency. However, a conversion rate of just 8% in the Premier League leaves plenty to be desired in that department. In Simons, who has been described as a special player by coach Harry Brooks, Arsenal would be signing a potent and dynamic threat who would be the perfect ease alternative, for he is both positionally and tactically similar. Moreover, he would prove an upgrade on Arteta's existing left wingers, who have both struggled to assert themselves thus far during Arsenal's preseason and will have undoubtedly provided him food for thought. Martinelli is a talented winger, but he's struggled to reach elite levels over the past couple of seasons, hitherto renowned as one of the most exciting up-and-coming forwards. Across the past 2 Premier League seasons, he's bagged himself 14 goals and 8 assists across 68 matches. Hardly an awe-inspiring return, having drifted in and out of games and indeed the starting lineup too. Then, with the 30-year-old Trossard, the boss might be seeking a more talented and complete winger, a fine goalscorer though Trossard may be. Last term, in fact, the Belgian missed more big chances 9 than he scored 8, as per SofaScore, which is the first time that has happened in 5 top-flight seasons. It's clear that Simons, a rising star with a point to prove, could be the perfect addition to an Arsenal side in need of some more creativity to complement Gyokeres up top. Simons could be the perfect signing, should efforts to real ease over prove fruitless. Mikel Arteta provides injury update on Arsenal star. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta is hopeful that Riccardo Calafiori has not suffered a serious setback after the defender limped off during the Gunners' 3-2 preseason win over Newcastle United in Singapore on Sunday. The 23-year-old centre-back started the game against the Magpies alongside William Saliba but had to be replaced by Jakub Kiwior just 4 minutes into the second half. Calafiori immediately headed down the tunnel, sparking fears of a potential injury relapse. The Italian international had shown promising signs in the Milan game, playing a solid 45 minutes, but Sunday's early exit threatens to derail his preseason rhythm. Arteta, who is no stranger to injury setbacks, at the post-match press conference, said, as per Yahoo Sports. Calafiori said he felt a little tweak, so I don't know how bad it is, but hopefully it's not serious. Signed from Bologna for £42 million last summer, the Rome-born endured an injury-disrupted debut season at the Emirates, managing just 29 appearances due to recurring knee and muscle issues. Calafiori's latest knock will be a worry for Arteta, who is already navigating a preseason hampered by multiple defensive absences. For the record, fellow defenders Jurriën Timber and Gabriel Magalhaes have yet to feature in preseason, both still recovering from injuries that affected their availability last season. Ben White is also only just returning to full training following knee surgery and remains on a carefully managed fitness schedule. After a season where defensive injuries derailed the Gunners' title push, fans were looking forward to a fresh start. Calafiori's arrival was seen as part of the club's plan to reinforce the backline and avoid last year's mistakes. So, watching him go down less than 50 minutes into a friendly naturally brings frustration. While many fans are encouraged by the strong performances of young talents like Max Daumann and very excited about the debut of Swedish international Viktor Gyokeres, the sight of another defender limping off dampens the mood. Some fans have taken to social media to express concern over the club's growing injury list before the season has even begun. Others are calling for the medical team and fitness strategies to be reviewed, especially after last season's setbacks with Timber, Tomiyasu, and others, but there is still hope. Calafiori's own decision to walk off rather than be stretchered off offers a silver lining. The fanbase knows the Italian has the quality, and they just want to see him fit, firing, and available when it matters most. Meanwhile, Arsenal will wrap up their Asia tour on Thursday with a much-anticipated clash against their rivals, Tottenham Hotspur. Summer signing Viktor Gyokeres is expected to make his first appearance in that match, giving fans a glimpse of the Swedish striker in action. Gyokeres shares Crystal Palace social media message amid Arsenal transfer talk. Arsenal are understood to be prioritizing Crystal Palace playmaker Gyokeres this summer transfer window after finally completing the signing of Viktor Gyokeres. Gyokeres has posted on social media after playing for Crystal Palace in their latest preseason friendly. He starred for the Eagles on Friday night as they ran out 3-0 winners against League Two opposition Crawley Town. The playmaker scored their second at Broadfield Stadium after starting the game before being withdrawn midway through the second half. That was E's first outing of the summer for Palace, having missed their friendly earlier this month against his former club, Millwall. However, that absence was due to having extra time off after being involved with England at the end of last season. Arsenal face Liverpool in transfer battle amid Gyokeres and Alexander Isak moves. Gyokeres to Arsenal transfer in question is Mikel Arteta given a brand new problem after being back involved with the team. He's shared photos of himself from the match on his Instagram story. This latest social media activity comes as speculation linking the player with Arsenal during this summer transfer window continues to abound. The club want to sign another attacker and football. London understands ease as their primary target. There is also a belief that the player is keen on a move, but Palace want the £67.5 million release clause in his contract paid. However, for now, the focus is understood to be on outgoings after completing the signing of Victor Gyokeres. Albert Sambi Lokonga, Fabio Vieira, Karl Hein and Alexander Zinchenko could all leave, while Fulham are interested in Reiss Nelson, football. London understands. As such, a seventh signing of the summer is not set to be imminent and may require extra time, being dependent on further business happening beforehand. It is, therefore, unsurprising that there is a stark difference between how Ease is conducting himself compared to Gyokeres, for multiple reasons. The England international instead appears to be partaking fully in preseason at his current club. That includes a pair of back-to-back friendlies against Augsburg on Friday as part of their training camp in Austria before returning to London ahead of the Community Shield. Arsenal target Rodrigo not interested in joining Tottenham Hotspur. Real Madrid star and Arsenal target Rodrigo is not interested in joining Tottenham Hotspur despite reports linking him with Spurs, according to Foot Mercato journalist Santi Auna. The Gunners want him and Spurs have also made an inquiry for the Brazilian, but there are no talks ongoing between both parties, with the player not keen on joining them. Rodrigo wants to move to a bigger club than Tottenham if he leaves Madrid, which will be a boost for Arsenal but a blow for Spurs manager Thomas Frank. The Gunners have held preliminary talks with his representatives as their coaching staff and manager Mikel Arteta are huge admirers of his versatility and quality. He can play on both wings and even as a number 9, and Arsenal are keen to do a deal if the conditions are right. Madrid are open to letting the 24-year-old leave, but they could demand top dollar from suitors for his services, and it remains to be seen whether the Gunners will be able to meet his demands or theirs. Arsenal have already signed a winger after adding Noni Madueke to their attacking ranks, but they could sign another, and Crystal Palace star Gyokeres is an option. He is Premier League proven and could cost around £68 million, his release clause, and Arteta may need to decide between him and Rodrigo. Both players are capable of improving the Arsenal attack given their huge quality and what they bring to the table in terms of experience and skill set, but it will take a lot to sign them and whether there is still enough room for the club to complete another big money signing this summer is unknown. The Gunners have spent £200 million in recent weeks after signing the likes of Victor Gyokeres for £63.5 million, Martin Zubimendi for £60 million and Madueke for just under £50 million, and they will be wary not to fall foul of profitability and sustainability rules (PSR). Arsenal to offload 5 players as Ease pursuit heats up. Arsenal transfer update, Ease targeted as outgoings loom. Ease interest gathers pace. Arsenal are continuing their aggressive push in the summer transfer market, with Gyokeres now firmly on their radar following a productive recruitment drive. The Express reports that a £68 million move for the Crystal Palace playmaker is under consideration, as Mikel Arteta looks to inject further creativity into his attacking options. Ease has long been admired for his ability to glide past players and dictate tempo. After hinting at a potential departure following Palace's FA Cup win over Manchester City, the opportunity to join a Champions League contender could now become reality. With 5 additions already secured, including Kepa Arrizabalaga, Noni Madueke and Victor Gyokeres, Arsenal's pursuit of Ease marks a significant statement of intent. Fringe players expected to depart. Even with Ease potentially incoming, Arsenal's business is far from complete. The Express outlines that the Gunners may sanction up to 5 player exits this summer, potentially generating a further £75 million in revenue. Among those expected to move on is Reiss Nelson. A graduate of Hale End, Nelson is reportedly in advanced talks with Fulham, following a successful loan spell. Should the move materialize, he would join Emile Smith-Rowe as another academy product to make the switch across London. Albert Sambi Lokonga is also likely to depart. With only 1 year left on his contract and minimal involvement in recent seasons, Arsenal may look to recoup a fee before he becomes eligible to leave on a free transfer. Vieira and Zinchenko futures uncertain. Fabio Vieira's Arsenal career has yet to gain traction. After an underwhelming spell back at Porto last season, the midfielder's future remains uncertain. Another exit, permanent or temporary, looks increasingly probable. Alexander Zinchenko, once a key component in Arteta's tactical setup, has fallen down the pecking order at left back. With Riccardo Calafiori and Miles Lewis-Skelly now preferred, the Ukrainian international may explore a move in search of regular football. Trossard's situation reflects squad evolution. The final name in the departure bracket is perhaps the most unexpected, Leandro Trossard. The Belgian has been a reliable contributor since arriving from Brighton in 2023, but squad evolution and the arrival of Madueke, plus the potential signing of Ease, may leave him surplus to requirements. While nothing is yet confirmed, the Express suggests that the Gunners are weighing up his future carefully. Our view, EPL Index Analysis. This summer has been a whirlwind of ambition and ruthlessness. Arsenal fans will rightly feel excited by the caliber of players being targeted. The Ease link signals intent to compete not just in England but in Europe, and his creativity could be transformative if he stays fit and finds rhythm under Arteta. However, it's the outgoings that will raise eyebrows. Reiss Nelson's potential exit is understandable, but Zinchenko and Trossard have been key parts of recent success. The shifting of those figures may risk losing dressing room balance and Premier League experience. That said, if Arsenal truly want to elevate themselves to title-winning status, tough decisions are inevitable. Arteta's willingness to refresh and modernize the squad again reflects a clarity of vision. The Gunners are not merely planning for next season, but building a core capable of sustaining a challenge for years. While fans will be nostalgic about academy graduates leaving or favorites potentially moving on, there's growing belief that Arsenal are positioning themselves for sustained excellence.